So everyone likes to talk about how useful AI is, but is it actually useful when wanting to learn more about investing in the stock market and what stocks are good to invest in? Let's go ahead and ask. And what better platform to ask that on other than ChatGPT? And I wanted to compare it to another popular platform, investing.com, and they just came out with their version of their own AI, and it's called WarrenAi. And I wanted to see how the answers differentiate. So one of my biggest problems, and again, I just like being very open with you guys. One of my biggest problems with just this whole AI boom is that I never actually found anything it is that AI or any of these free AI platforms ever shared was actually useful. Just like this, when I asked ChatGPT, what is a safe stock to invest in 2025? It did give some decent answers. I mean, it gives you an option, like a list of stocks to choose from Procter & Gamble to Coca-Cola to Duke Energy to Johnson & Johnson, 3M Company, sure. But it doesn't really provide much depth on why. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know that is exactly what I always look for. I want to understand why it's a good stock because yes, I can perform my own fundamental and technical analysis, but a lot of beginners cannot. So therefore, this answer becomes inferior when you ask it, what is a safe stock to invest in? I asked that same question on WarrenAi. What is a safe stock to invest in 2025? And boy, was the answer different. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't believe anyone should ever make a sole investment decision off of a question that they ask an AI platform. But I can see why this answer and why using WarrenAi can be more useful than ChatGPT. And you guys let me know what it tells you when you begin to ask it yourself. And again, it's the first link in the description down below. If you want to ever mess around with WarrenAi, it does allow you with an Investing Pro account, right? You can sign up on a monthly basis or sign up on a yearly basis, just depending on what is more suitable for you and your investing style. But the thing that I found to be very useful here was that when it gave you an answer such as Microsoft. This is the one that really stood out to me. When it said Microsoft was the number 3rd pick, it says key features, moderate beta of 0.89, strong financial score of 2.83, highest ROI at 34.3%, strong revenue growth trajectory, and then highest analysis coverage over 50 analysts. Now, the part that I found to be very unique about this is, right? Everyone has their own investing style, and there's so many different ways on how to make money in this market. I mean, I can pull up Procter & Gamble and very quickly, right? I pulled up Walmart, I pulled up Procter & Gamble, and yes, this is a very bullish stock over a long period of time, and it does have a recent retracement, which kind of does make it maybe a little bit of a better deal. Procter & Gamble is not necessarily the type of company that I prefer to invest in, but I can see why many can't, right? So this is why I like the list that it provided you, is because depending on your investing style, you can figure out what is more ideal for you. With that being said, when I pulled up Microsoft, I was like, why did it pull up Microsoft? I mean, that thing has to be nearly at all-time highs, but it's not. Microsoft actually recently retraced after reporting earnings, and it's testing a major support range at $400. Now, let me make this very clear. Microsoft doesn't have to recover. But if I believe that the markets are incredibly bullish, let's say that was my thought process, and I believe that markets are going to continue to recover in 2025 and push to new highs, then why wouldn't I possibly want to partake in Microsoft, being a $3 trillion company, one of the most valuable companies that's publicly traded? Why wouldn't I want to invest in it? And if I were to buy it now and it goes back to previous all-time highs, which again, if that's my expectation and forecast for 2025, then most likely Microsoft should follow, right? A 14.3% return. And then that's kind of really good. When I began to ask myself of, oh, wow, it found a good quality company that's strong fundamentally. It explained to me why, and I could even do a deeper dive and ask it more questions on that. And I thought that was one of the most useful things about messing with WarrenAi, is that it doesn't just give you a generic list of stocks that then you have to do a further analysis on, which of course you do regardless of whatever stock it is you end up choosing to pick to actually invest in. But at least when you use WarrenAi, it provides you some key features of what makes it so attractive. And again, we can pull up Johnson & Johnson, again, that being more of a less tech focused company. And if we pull it up on the week chart, again, just not something that would align with not just the type of company, but also the setup. I don't view it to be as much of a good deal. It's relatively close to previous all-time highs. It's already showing signs of a potential recovery, so I'm not buying it at a previous support range. So right off the bat, this just wouldn't be something that would meet my criteria. The same thing with Procter & Gamble, although it did dip a little bit, again, not as attractive, and I don't view the company as attractive. But when it comes down to Microsoft, I really do like that setup. But again, this doesn't mean that the stock has to recover right now. And I think that's the part that's most important about all of this, is that there is nothing wrong with, as AI continues to get better, and I'm sure ChatGPT will get better, and I'm sure WarrenAi will get better, that you begin to ask it useful questions depending on, hey, what's a gold-based ETF that has a good return? Because, let's say that you see some uncertainty with the market. And if markets go down, maybe gold begins to go up. And it could be a specific industry or niche in the market that you begin to learn more about in preparation for a market pullback, right? You can really begin to utilize these resources that can actually be in your benefit as an investor or a trader. And that's what I think is most exciting about this, is not just getting some BS response from chat GPT and just hope that, okay, it provided me 10 different stocks, I'm just going to throw $1,000 on each one of them and hope for the best, right? Your job as a trader is to make an informed decision, and hopefully the AI platform that you choose to use gives you enough information for you to be able to be a little bit more guided on, right? And very quickly, we can go ahead and plug it into the risk to reward ratio calculator. We can remove MSTR and type in MFST or MSFT. And very quickly, if we were to type it in at a $408 purchase price with an exit of right around, based off of previous all-time highs, it's 466. So I'm going to go with a 460 and then cut losses. Let's say that it does break that support at 400. We can always cut losses there. This means that it would give me a risk to reward ratio of 6.50. And let's say with 100 shares, so just about $40,000, I could potentially make $5,200, and my dollar amount at risk is $480. Overall, right, my profit potential greatly exceeds my loss potential, and that's why the risk to reward is so important. So not only is it a good stock fundamentally, not only is it a good setup technically, but then also when you plug it into that risk to reward ratio calculator, it makes it very clear of what the trade plan can be, what your profit potential is, and what your risk potential, right? Your entry, exit, and of course, plan B, cut losses if the trade doesn't go according to plan. So overall, again, when it comes down to using WarrenAi versus ChatGPT, I see there to be no question that the answers are just more guided to investors, as you would assume, as it's made from Investing Pro. So again, if you guys want to check it out to test it out yourself, it's going to be the first link in the description down below. And do not forget, if you guys want to watch me trade live as soon as the market opens this Tuesday, I would love to have you there. And that's going to be linked in the description down below, so you can watch me trade live as soon as the market opens. I appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.